Finally, the video records a serious manual handling failure in a workshop where two workers move a small but extremely heavy component. One worker slips, causing an immediate loss of control and dropping the heavy object onto the foot and lower leg of a colleague. This incident emphasizes the essential need to assess load weights before lifting, prohibit manual handling of excessively heavy items, rely on hoists or carts for transport, and require proper PPE, especially steel-toe boots, to reduce crush injuries. The footage also captures a near-fatal event involving a crane or hoist lifting a large, flat metal panel. Due to improper rigging or unsecured slinging, the suspended load loses balance, swings, and drops suddenly, narrowly missing a nearby worker. This incident highlights the importance of pre-lift rigging checks, using spreader bars or multi-point lifting systems for wide loads, and enforcing safe clearance zones around all suspended materials. One video shows a critical incident during elevated handling operations where a worker climbs onto unstable cargo being lifted by a forklift, an action strictly forbidden. As the worker reaches the top, the load shifts, destabilizing the forklift and causing both the worker and cargo to fall from height. This underscores the absolute prohibition of riding lifted loads, the need for proper fall protection during elevated tasks, and strict enforcement of equipment stability limits to avoid catastrophic failures. Another clip reveals a hazardous manual handling failure, where workers attempt to upright a large, top-heavy cabinet or similar object. While trying to control the weight, the structure suddenly tips and crashes down, violently striking two workers nearby. This event highlights the non-negotiable requirement to avoid manually maneuvering oversized heavy items and instead rely on forklifts, cranes, or mechanical aids, along with maintaining proper standoff distances to prevent crushing injuries. The footage further documents a serious safety breach at a service station where a distracted driver accidentally hits a fuel pump, forcefully tearing it from its base. The falling pump structure collapses onto two people standing nearby. This incident underscores the necessity for extremely slow vehicle speeds and heightened awareness inside fuel stations, as well as the importance of maintaining safe space around infrastructure and people to avoid destructive impacts and severe injuries. A worker stands dangerously near an unsecured coil when it abruptly shifts and begins to roll. The enormous coil crashes forward, striking and rolling over the nearby worker. This incident emphasizes the critical requirement for wheel chocks, blocks, and other restraints to stabilize heavy cylindrical materials, along with uncompromising exclusion zones and separation practices to prevent fatal crushing incidents. The roller instantly pulls the worker toward the moving axis before they can react. This incident reinforces the essential importance of proper machine guarding, strict compliance with lockout-tagout procedures, and the use of well-fitted clothing to eliminate entanglement hazards around rotating machinery. Another segment shows a major incident at a scrapyard or recycling facility. Workers operate around machinery lifting scrap materials to height when a heavy object unexpectedly drops from above. The falling debris lands directly where a worker is positioned on the ground. This event highlights the absolute necessity of enforcing strict no-go zones beneath overhead loads, as well as the need for debris netting, protective overhead structures, and regular equipment inspections to prevent dangerous dropped object events. The footage also captures a severe machine-related accident in a factory, involving a high-speed rotating roller. A worker stands too close to the rapidly spinning component, and due to inadequate guarding or unsafe proximity, the worker's clothing becomes entangled. The video also depicts a tragic chain of safety failures leading to a serious roadside accident. It shows a work crew positioned far too close to passing traffic while a pedestrian walks nearby. The incident begins when a worker mishandles a tensioned cable or line and suddenly loses control, stumbling backward and unintentionally pushing the pedestrian into an active traffic lane. A large moving truck then strikes the pedestrian, revealing the deadly consequences of working beside live traffic without adequate controls. This scenario stresses the critical importance of physical barriers, clearly defined safety buffers near roadways, proper handling techniques, and strict enforcement of protocols that maintain safe distances between workers, bystanders, and heavy vehicles. The video captures a major safety breakdown inside a warehouse where a heavily loaded high-density racking system suddenly and completely collapses. The footage shows a worker moving through an aisle when an entire vertical row of shelving abruptly gives way, sending both the structure and stored goods crashing down. The worker reacts instantly and manages to escape the falling debris, avoiding injury by mere seconds. This event is a powerful reminder of the essential need for thorough engineering inspections and certifications of all high-rack storage installations, strict adherence to maximum load ratings, proper weight distribution, and the establishment of mandatory exclusion zones to safeguard personnel from severe crush hazards.